As all horrible things do, this one started great. Now, it all started with the Steam 2024 summer sale. Okay, I'm browsing through the internet, and what do I see? But the last of the LCD Steam Decks are being discounted, and you can have a new Steam Deck for under $300. Now, to me, this was just too good to pass up. 300 doll hairs, and a few days later, and my excitement was at a peak as the man in brown shorts dropped off a small rectangular package at my front door. I just couldn't wait to get this set up. Things started out normal enough. Box, tape, desired electronic, and charging apparatus. The case they send you with the Steam Deck is actually pretty impressive. I plan to get a hard shell case as well, but this one does instill confidence. And inside of that, of course, what you and I have been waiting for, the Steam Deck by Valve. Especially at this price point, this may be the best console you could ever have for this value. I mean, just pause for a second. The Xbox One came out back in 2013, over a decade ago. It retailed then at $349. In today's money, that's $466 when adjusted for inflation. So for almost $200 less in actual spendable value, you can get something that can do pretty much everything it can, but is also easily played portable. So I can assume others who may be watching the video can understand at this point how one could rationalize making this purchase. Up until this point, everything had gone smoothly. Unboxing, recording, syncing my accounts, downloading games, it all went super smooth, just like you would expect it to with a major console. But that was all about to change. Let me first say I still stand by my purchase. My Steam Deck may be my favorite console I've ever had, and I look forward to a long period of time of enjoying it. So, upon testing out a few titles like Left 4 Dead 2, I felt confident in updating to the beta version to get access to the new recording features Steam had just released. This went over well, no real hiccups while recording Left 4 Dead, so I decided to turn the video capture from the second highest setting to the highest setting and attempt some footage while playing Hogwarts Legacy. And things went okay, up until the dragon attack and the opening cutscene. At this point, my audio and video desynced and I was left with a frozen screen while the audio continued to the end of the cutscene. I was unable after this to get the game to unfreeze, so I shut it down, rational thought. I attempted to restart the game several times unsuccessfully, and after this decided to do a manual restart on the Steam Deck. After powering down and powering back up, I was left with the logo screen. And I'll admit, I kind of passed out at this point, but when I woke up, at least 4 hours later, I was on the same screen. Now, in the morning, I was left with the same issue, and I could never get out of this loop. So then I consulted the Steam site and read it, trying to see if others had this issue, and some had definitely had this issue. I found the remedy was to reset to the last update, and you can do this by holding your menu and power on button. But this resulted in a whole new feedback loop that I couldn't get out of. It would attempt to unpack and finalize the previous update, and then I would get kicked back to the unpack stage. I attempted several other remedies, none of which seemed to work. The next major step that I took was essentially erasing all the data on the Steam Deck and telling it to reboot from scratch. This is a step before re-imaging, and I got almost nothing from this. I was able to get back into essentially ship mode to where when I would plug it in after this, it would go through the normal Steam startup like if you just got your deck, but then I would get back into the Steam Deck logo feedback loop like I was initially, and I was never able to get past that. The next thing I tried was re-imaging, and I learned a couple of things about re-imaging Steam Decks. First, you're going to want to start off at the Steam recovery page. This is going to give you everything you need. One, the recovery image, and don't forget to uncompress it. Do not forget to uncompress the image. And Rufus, which is the tool you're going to be using to actually reformat whatever thing you're using. I found out that a USB 1 drive doesn't work very well. A USB 2 drive doesn't work very well. It seems to want to be powered, be plugged in while it's doing this to do it correctly, because I tried a dozen times with different things and was never able to get it to work until I decided to use the micro SD card I was using for game storage, reformat it, and then put the recovery image on that and use that while the deck was plugged into a power outlet. Once I did that, I was actually able to re-image my deck and fix it, get it out of this brick state, and get back to playing some games.